YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen hit with new charges, and this time they decided to drag someone else into it with them. BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, YNW Melly and Bortlen hit with new charges, and these new charges have to deal with the tampering of witnesses. And it seems this time they dragged someone else along with them. Introducing Terrence Mathis. Okay. Now I want to be clear about something real quick. Terrence Mathis, he is currently an inmate. He's an inmate. I guess he's in the same facility that is currently being YNW Melly is being held in. So, and I guess now YNW Bortlen, because they picked him up too. So apparently, for everybody that don't know, YNW Bortlen happened to have some information that they said was impossible for him to have because he never came to court one day. The information that he had was the different jurors, where they were sitting at, and what their names was. But he never came to court, so there was no way for him to document this himself. So they was trying to figure out how he actually got this information. In steps Terrence Mathis. They're saying that Terrence Mathis was the contact that contacted Bortlen to give him this information. So along with the other charges that Bortlen and YNW Melly was already facing, they got hit with now witness tampering, directing activity of a criminal gang. That's a thing now. Conspiracy of committing tampering, and 2 counts each of solicitation to commit tampering and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. So I want to be clear on something. There was a couple of things that confused me about this when I first read it. The first thing is this. So the improper use of a two-way listening communication device, does that mean that if anybody has anything that they could communicate with someone else on it, and then the government says, we don't like what you're talking about over the years, isn't that, I'm just saying, freedom of speech? Anyway, in any regard, I'm guessing that the reason why it was misuse of a two-way communication device because one of those individuals was an inmate. So there's restrictions to the way, to how he can use, I would say, certain devices like a telephone or even social media or whatever. I don't even know how those guys are on social media, y'all, so it is what it is. In any regard, the issue was the possible witness tampering, because this leads to the idea that one of those people was actually contacted, and they contacted one of those people, and that this is lends to the idea that this is why they were why he was found. There was a mistrial the first time. There's no telling if after all of this is over, and I'm not saying that this individual did do this, but if there was a situation where this individual was put under pressure and was told that they had to vote a certain way, and they said, you know what, I'm not backing up off of this and I don't care what anybody say. Maybe that's why they were so quick to pull the trigger on the trial. Remember? They came back like one day, and he was like, you know, if y'all can't figure it out by tomorrow. Like, what are you talking about, fam? Like 2 days, that's it? In any regard, this is probably why they were so quick to end the first trial and just deem it a mistrial over I think only like 4 days of deliberation. they decided to deem it a mistrial because maybe this information was, communicated to the powers that be, and they decided they didn't want to put that jurist in that particular situation. So therefore, they already knew that they were going to be doing all of this. With that also being said, just so we could be clear, the prosecution did such a terrible job, even with them knowing that there's a good chance that this tampering actually did happen. Because remember, they're accusing them of tampering, not plotting to tamper. Conspiracy to tamper is a whole different charge, which they're also getting charged with. But they're being charged with tampering. You get it? Let's say this again. Conspiracy to tamper is a completely different charge, but they're also being charged with tampering. I say this because I want you to understand there's a good chance that after that mistrial, or even during the mistrial, while the jurist was speaking, and they, at one point or another alluded, or just maybe, frankly, just said it out, that they were being pushed to making the decision in which they're now deciding on, it wasn't because of, what they saw in court. I'm just saying. So that's why remember, there's the tampering, which they're being charged with, and then there's also the conspiracy. So it just sounds to me like there's a lot more going on here than we know currently. And I'm just curious if we're going to find out when the authorities, initially found out that there was the possibility of tampering. With that being said, put it down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.